In the name of God, the supremely merciful, the most kind.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Summa salatu wassalam ala ashraf al-mursaleen. Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam ajma'in. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is our Lord, is the creator of the universe, and He has enjoined us that we should be dutiful towards Him and our fellow human being. And that is why al-Islam adinun nasi'ah. Adinun nasi'ah, by the expression of the Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, says that it's a form of advice. Adinu yusra, a very beautiful and easy faith, a beautiful religion. Why are we saying this? Because Allah has made provision for so many things within our sociological, physiological, and the political landscape. Whatever you need to do in the universe, Allah has made provision for it. And that's where we'll be, just like the question you asked about what is injustice in Islam, and how do we react to injustice. Allah frowns at injustice because Allah is adlu. Allah enjoins that we should be very, very just. And when you look at that concept, every khutbah by some imams, every Fridays or within the context of their speech, they quote these ayah of the Quran in Surah Al-An'am, Surah Al-Nam, An'am rather, Surah Al-An'am, Quran chapter 16, verse 90 and 91. Allah says, Inna Allah ya'murukum bil adli, that I warn you, I enjoin you, that you should be just. Justice is what Allah wants from all. The injustice that we see that pervades the planet, the entire world today, is as a result that we are not living by the instruction and the laws of Almighty Allah. The Sharia specifically stated it, that no Muslim should do what? Should be unjust. And when you look at the word justice, Allah is so emphatic about it, because where there is injustice, there will be strife and chaos. Because when a particular soul is wronged, when a particular person is treated unjustly, he will not feel happy. And when he doesn't feel happy, he would want to seek redress, whether by the regular means, which is approaching the law makers or the lawgivers or the institutions or established by the law in every nation. But if he does not see that what we see around, a lot of innocent, a lot of humble people were treated unjustly. And where there is injustice, Allah hates it with passion. And that's why the Nabi Muhammad said, the prayers of somebody who has been treated unjustly is being answered by his Lord. Mustajab. Allah answers such prayer because he has been treated unjustly. And he seeks Allah's help by seeking for his own justice from where he cannot get it. So some of our rulers, some of our political elites, some of our leaders who by one way or the other are treating people unjustly are doing this to the detriment of their accountability towards their Lord. Because Allah wants them. Allah wants us to treat ourselves, that you give what is due to A, rather than without depriving B. Because equality before Allah, in akramakum indallahi ataqakum. Allah said, we created you, ya ayyuhan nas, inna khalaqnakum min dhakarin wa unsa. وَجَعَلْنُ شُهُوبًا وَقَبَائِلَ تَعْرَفُوا إِنْ أَكْرَمَكُمْ إِنْدَ اللَّهِ أَتْقَاكُمْ. That you have the same status with us. We created you differently, with different, your status are not the same, but you have the same status with us. And what is that? That everybody is the same. Only those who fear Allah are most revered to Him. And that is why, as Muslims, if you are just, Imam, some of the four people that the Prophet said they will be under the shade of Allah on the day of Yawm al-Qiyamah, the day when the sun will be brought closer to the heart. The brain would be boiling due to the intensity of the sun, the heat on that day. But there are some who are going to be under the umbrella of Almighty Allah. One of them is Imam Hadlu. Imam Hadlu. An Imam, a leader, a father, a husband, a president, a governor, a minister who is just. If our leaders could understand this concept by making sure that they never deny each and every one of the citizen or the subjects under them, they never deny them of their right for 1 minute, then they are sure on the way to being one of the adherents of paradise. They will be protected on the day of Yawm al-Qiyamah. They will enter paradise. But because they are unjust. So Islam says you should not be just. You should not be unjust. So injustice in Islam is frowned at. It is not encouraged. It is what many scholars of Islam have actually said. Nobody that wants to see the favor in the sight of Almighty Allah should come with elements of injustice in his hand, because Allah has actually warned that we must be just. So how do Muslims react to injustice? This is what the Prophet enjoined. Or he said, "Ma an ra'ayil munkar, falyughayyiru biyadihi, aw biqalbi, aw lisanihi, aw qalbi, fa'adiha fal iman." That when you see injustice, you have been treated unjustly, you can correct it with your hand. How do you correct it with your hand? You can write the necessary authority. Whether they take action or they neglect it, you do not react unnecessarily. So you can write petition, just like protest. Like so many scholars of Islam has actually said, protest in Islam is frowned at, because the form and type that is being done these days is not the way to do it. You can actually write, and that's why it is encouraged in Islam that you assist a leader by writing to him. You saw what Prophet was saying, what he did, the examples he laid when he was writing so many kings, inviting them to Islam, warning them of the imminent danger or the imminent doom when they turn against Allah. Warning them that if they are not unjust, if they are not just to their subject, they are going to face the wrath of Allah. So he wrote them. So we can do what? We can correct it with our hand. By writing, by when you see somebody who has been treated unjustly, you can actually intervene by coming to say, oh, you should not be. And that's why the Prophet said, you should assist two people, the zulum and zalimin. The zulum is somebody who has been wronged, and the other person that was wrong. And they now ask, how do we know of the person that was wrong, that we can assist? Okay, don't cry, don't do this. But what about the unjust? He said you can hold his hand to say, please don't harm this innocent. So these are the ways that the Prophet has actually enjoined us, that you correct it with your hand, you correct it with your mouth. You can speak against it. And lastly, in your mind. Rather than go to the street and start destroying properties or thereabout, you can correct it with your mind. And that is by praying to Almighty Allah that, Allah, I want you to get my right from this unjust ruler. And Allah listens to the prayer of the unjust. I pray that Almighty Allah will make us just and would give us leaders and will make us leaders that will listen to our subjects and have justice established on earth. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله ولكم سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك وأتوب إليك سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون السلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
TV. Let's heal the world.